A child is rushed into the operating room after a car accident, which has caused swelling in his brain. He survives the risky surgery, but wakes up with a laceration from his temple to his nose, leaving a scar that will be across his face for the rest of his life. This injury actually had nothing to do with the surgical procedure itself, but was instead from the instrument designed to aid the surgery. This precarious device, used throughout the United States for the past 45 years, is known as the Mayfield skull clamp, a medical device for securing the head in a stable position for various types of neurosurgery. There is evidence that this device has caused facial lacerations, bald spots, skull fractures, and hematoma due to the slippage or unintended movement of the device before or mid-operation. Going to a serious surgery like this is already one of the most frightening days of a patient's life, and they are leaving with damaging scars that serve as constant reminders of that day, all because of the Mayfield skull clamp.
This device utilizes 3 spiked points that penetrate the scalp and muscle layers in order to anchor in the skull and hold the head stable throughout neurosurgery. While this device sufficiently maintains this stability, many adverse effects have been shown to occur. According to the FDA, between 2008 and 2016, over 1,000 medical device reports were issued, of which 700 resulted in injury to the patient. It is clear this device is in critical need of an update, and this is where we come in. I'm Kristina McKee, and this is Jennifer Muschello, and we're part of a senior design team here at Stevens. We are working with the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai and their head of neurosurgery, Dr. Joshua Betterson, one of the leading neurosurgeons in the country. Together, we have developed Headlock, a modernized skull clamp that will improve overall patient comfort and safety. Headlock features more degrees of freedom that will make setup easier and faster for surgeons while also allowing for adjustments throughout the surgery. An additional contact point increases the number of safe configurations while reducing the amount of force at each point, and elongated pins prevent the plastic base from pushing up against the scalp and causing blood flow loss. Each of our design features has a strong emphasis on safety. There is already enough risk associated with brain surgery, so when our device is implemented, it will reduce this risk factor and improve the overall operative experience.
Neurosurgery is the leading edge of modern surgery. In 2016, the neurosurgical device market was priced at $3.6 billion and is expected to double by 2023. So we know that our device will always be in demand. The Mayfield skull clamp is the only major competitor for our device. However, we believe that by explaining the safety benefits of our device to neurosurgical departments across the country, our device has the potential to be a highly competitive alternative. Headlock costs $1,000 to manufacture and will be sold for $3,000 with a 3 to 7 year lifespan. We are currently securing a patent for this device, which will give us exclusive rights to the design. It is a Class 2 medical device, so we will be filing a 510K to shorten the approval process from 3 to 4 years to 1 year. We are asking for a $750,000 investment to proceed with the FDA approval process and conduct clinical trials. We're Team Headlock, and together, let's improve the lives of patients undergoing neurosurgery. Thank you.
Yes, Cicely.
Yes.
Thank you. So I would assume that there may be some lawsuits against the existing provider of the equipment. So why wouldn't they have improved the device already?
When you're considering neurosurgery, you're not thinking about the skull clamp. Like, there are so many other problems that are going along with neurosurgery. So it's just never been a priority to update this device. So.
Right, and we thought that was surprising too, the fact that this device has been used for the past 45 years and technology is always rapidly advancing. So it was very surprising to our team that this device hasn't been updated in so long, but I think a part of that is also that surgeons know how to use it and they're used to it, so why change something that surgeons are already used to be using? So I think that's why this company hasn't been updating yet, and like Tina said, there's other priorities when it comes to neurosurgery, but the FDA stated that there's 700 injuries associated with this device, so it's definitely time for a change.
I think the Mayfield skull clamp sounds like something out of medieval.
Yes, it looks like it too.
Right, if you came to our booth today, you see it. It really looks like a medieval torture device.
Charming branding. So who decides to buy this device? Who's actually the determinant of what device to use?
So this would be administrative people in the hospital. So they would go through their purchasing office and would be involved with determining which skull clamp is used in their hospitals.
Right, so we are currently designing this with Mount Sinai. This is, they're the head of this project. So once we get this patented in the next couple of years, we can potentially license this to a company such as Mayfield. They're produced by Integra Life Sciences, so we could potentially sell that license to them.
And a way we would approach the purchasing department also is to introduce how it can reduce these malpractice problems, which is definitely advantageous for the hospitals.
So you mentioned clinical trials, and those are so important for us marketers. So
Right.
any thoughts on what your endpoints would be for those clinical trials? And would you consider doing a head-to-head trial where actually you're taking Headlock and going against that Mayfield torture device?
Right.
Yes, that's definitely something we would consider to be able to show the advantages over using our skull clamp over the Mayfield skull clamp. So we'd do trials and show data to prove that it is a better device.
Right. It's been discussed in our group. We want to do cadaver testing on our current prototype, but it's a little underdeveloped to be doing that. So hopefully in the future, if we continue on with this project, we would be able to do cadaver testing and more clinical trials with using our actual product on patients to see how it works and comparing the pros and cons from our device to the Mayfield's.
Good job. Thank you very much.